Hi everyone. This is
Good.
Nargile St. Petersburg, and I have connected on Skype from Solar Cairo with Amro Elfiky, co-owner of Vela Shisha Cafe brand, who couldn't came to St. Petersburg to HookahBattle 2015 for certain technical
You don't
reasons.
understand how I am that can come. I'm really upset, but
No.
uh,
Well, actually, this has generated many questions about why it's happened. So, hi Amro, how are you doing? Where are you
I'm doing
now?
good. Now, well, obviously here on our branch that's on the Nile.
Mm-hmm.
So hold on, let me the Nile real quick. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh wow, nice picture.
Uh, yeah, so that's our Nile branch.
What is the
And,
temperature now
and
in
as you see the
Cairo?
weather, it's about maybe 20 degrees Celsius in the
Mm.
morning. So right now, just light little,
Not bad for
pullover.
December. Okay,
No,
actually,
not about that.
okay, actually, the reason why Emra didn't came is simple. Emra didn't had the time to receive a Russian visa. In light of recent events on Middle East, the procedure of obtaining a Russian visa is much complicated. So in general,
Well,
unfortunately, the Hookah Battle 2050 and the official opening of Vela's St. Petersburg branch took place without you. Such a sad news.
I saw the pictures. They look amazing. The pictures are amazing. I
So,
love.
so how do you feeling about picture? Can you tell more about it?
Well, of course, I saw a couple of the hookahs that were made there. They look really good.
Mm.
I think the bicycle one was really unique. That was definitely a standout one. You guys innovate every year. I watch the hookah battle. There's always something different
Mhm.
and unique. I love that. I love that about you guys. You guys take it to another level.
Okay, so I have a few questions for you. Can you tell please more about Vella? How does Vella differ from the rest shisha places in Cairo?
Well, Willa differs a little bit in a sense that you'll find a lot of places that serve shisha here, but here
Mhm.
we've taken it to another level that we cater to the people who don't like shisha
Mhm.
but love shisha. So we're a haven for shisha lovers. So if shisha is what you like, then you come here because we focus on it. Everywhere else, shisha is just like coffee; it's extra. But here, this is main course. So you've come here before. You've seen our menu. It's very shisha focused. So
Okay.
the whole idea, and all of our shisha masters are highly trained. They're some of the best in Egypt, actually. And we continuously to look and find better people and trying to innovate as much as we can.
Mhm. Okay. So, on the eve of your failed visit, we held a special online contest. Ask your own question to the founder of Shisha Lounges in Egypt. This contest became popular because most of Shisha lovers in Russia would like to know more about hookah culture in Egypt and Middle East. Moreover, some people who have been in Hookah Battle 2004 in Minsk. Remember your history of the first flavored molasses tobacco, so some people think that you are very erudite in matters of hookah culture. um,
I tried. I see.
okay, actually, there were somewhere about 35 questions, but we are told that only the top of 5 questions will be asked in a special interview. So now we are running a special interview, and are you ready to answer these questions?
Shoot away. Let's go.
Okay, the first question from username Pavel Malashin is next. How he, Emerald Fiki, started in hookah sphere. How did you know about hookah culture? Where he started? What attracted him? I'd like to know his history and also what he think he have brought into the hookah culture.
Well, it started actually back in maybe I would say 1993 when I had my first hookah. And to me, it was just part of culture. It's like your first shot of vodka or something. It's just part of the culture.
Mhm.
And I tried it, and then for me, it was just something fun to do.
Mhm.
But then when I went to the U.S. and I went to college, I actually had a hookah with me. And back then, hookahs were still not popular.
Mhm.
And people were interested to see this hookah and, smoke, and it looked fun and everything. So I became known as the hookah guy. Of course, the very first time I made hookah for my friends. It was horrible. We used barbecuing charcoals, which are a disaster, and we had to use like foil that was used from like before. So it was really bad. In general, I've been known as a hookah guy, and then when I came back to Cairo, I got became more of a pastime, and then I decided, no, I really like this. I'd like to get into it. I started with Starbuzz. I became the distributor for Starbuzz in Egypt, and then after that, I decided, well, I'm selling the product. I think I need to get more invested into it. So the problem I always had was, where can I go to always get a properly made shisha all the time? And there's no dedicated places. Like when you want coffee, there's dedicated places to go, right? So you'll go to a Costa, you'll go to a Starbucks, you'll go to just places that make good coffee. But there's nothing like this for shisha. So I decided my own, and called it Wela, which is of course the hot coals that you call to get for your shisha.
Okay.
So that's the first part of the question. Second part of the question was basically, what have I added to the hookah? So I think even in where hookah smoking is almost an everyday normal occurrence, I think that I was able to elevate the hookah knowledge a little bit and bring a more upscale feel to hookahs in Egypt, and actually bring both the cultures together. I've traveled around the world, like I've been to Germany, I've been to Minsk last time, I've been to Maldives, I've been to Singapore, I've been to the United States. All these countries, I've been able to meet people in the hookah industry and add a little bit to them.
Okay, thank you for a brilliant answer. And we have another question. Username Denis Zubenko asking you. Well, that's an interesting question. Why the typical shisha master in Egypt, who works about 6 years, makes shisha worse than typical shisha lover in Russia? I think by typical shisha master, we think he meant typical shisha master in tourist areas, because most of Russians visit Egypt, like Hurghada or Sharm el-Sheikh, and they faced with typical shisha masters, and usually Russians professional shisha lovers do not like the quality of shisha which provides in tourist area. So the question is, why the typical shisha master in Egypt makes shisha worse than typical shisha lover in Russia? You need to answer.
Well, I'm not sure exactly how much the shisha master makes in Russia, but I'm going to assume it's more because I think there's two parts to this. The first part, it has to do with the disparity of income. So basically, in general, income levels are higher maybe in Russia than they are in Egypt, according to average stuff. The second part has to do with the people who work in the shisha industry in Egypt are the people who are like labor, like in a factory. There's many of them, lots and lots of people who can work in this industry. But in Russia, it's more, there's less people experienced. So supply and demand, less people, more demand, prices go up. In Egypt, lots of supply of shisha masters, and since it's easy, if one person says, I want a higher salary, you can just say, well, thank you very much, I'll bring in somebody new. So supply and demand. So it's supply and demand. So that's simply it.
Okay. And the next question from username autofuckkamua is next. When the ex-owners of Nakhla will make clear to current Japan Nakhla owners that they do not go into the right direction, removing cool old flavors and changing the receipt of tobacco? I know that ex-owners of Nakhla, so I think you can answer this question.
Well, the funny thing is, just yesterday, I was with the ex-owner of. I was sitting with them. These like everybody, like we're all there. We were all sitting having shisha and everything. And actually, this topic came up, and one of the things that we discussed that the new management for Al Nakhla, which is JTI right now, currently and this is something I'm also in touch with the current owners, well, the current management team at Al Nakhla here. And right now, because they have two products now, they have Al Nakhla and they have cigarettes. So right now, because the cigarette market for them is new, they're a little bit focused on the cigarettes. But with regards to the existing line, they're trying to homogenize all the tobacco flavors and brands and everything. So they're basically doing what any big corporation will do. They'll look at the best sellers, keep them, the things that are selling a little bit, and they'll take them away just for cost-saving measures. Now, do I agree with this? Probably not, but I'm a shisha lover, so I may be sentimental. But maybe from a business perspective, they're doing what they think is best for their business. Now, what the ex-owners thought, they also agree with me. They think maybe not the best move, but again, they can only put so much influence on the current management. But I did ask them about the reformulation. They told me that there has been flavors removed, but the formula is still the same. They haven't changed it.
Okay. Well, the next question is from Hookah Pro, and it sounds like I understand that not all care about the shisha, but I am an Orientalist Arabist by my education, and I'm directly interested in the next question. How religion approves smoking hookah in Egypt? Egypt, one of the most socially advanced countries in the Middle East, but their religion takes a decisive role in life, including among young people. And also interested to know not only how do the Muslims feel about shisha smoking, but also a classic school of shisha. Well, actually, I don't know what does he meant about classic school of shisha. I don't know, but the question is the question.
I think he means traditional shisha culture, but that's what I'm going to assume to answer the question. Basically, the general view on shisha is like, and I think I explained this to you before, it's like beer in Europe. It's part of the culture before it was anything religious. Now, there are a few religious scholars that have taken shisha along with other products like cigarettes and everything as, since it's harmful, then it should be against religion. Now, there are a few people that have taken this and said, well, I'm not going to smoke shisha because it's, against my religion. But I've met very, very few people that think that way. The majority of people, I think of it whether it's socially acceptable. Like, there are more people that, for example, females that will not smoke shisha because in some parts in Egypt that a girl smoking shisha is not, it's mostly a male thing. So, but now, of course, this trend is changing, but there's more people that look at it from a social perspective than they look at it from a religious perspective. So I think the amount of people that look at it that it's not acceptable from a religious perspective is very small.
Okay, and the last question from Alexander Fura. Imagine that there is an international worldwide hookah championship, and imagine that there exists a recognized worldwide hookah expert. He's the best in the hookah world, and it so happened that you met with him, and he tells you that you can ask him any question or advice, but only the one. So what will you ask him?
Oh, interesting question. Because it's an interesting question because I've met a lot of the big names in shisha, like obviously the owners of Starbucks, the owners of Nakhla, Khalil Mahmoud, all these people who are considered like big names, huge names in the shisha world, like Sharif Khalil Mahmoud, which is the second generation of family that owns the Khalil Mahmoud factories, and of course the Nakhla owners, the Biari family. I have the opportunity to always ask them questions, lots and lots of questions. But I think, just one question here, one of my shisha masters wants to say hi.
Hi.
He remembers you actually from last time you were here.
Yeah, I remember.
If you want to prepare shisha, prepare now.
Okay.
But anyway, going back to the question. Basically, I think the question would be, I think the biggest question would be, where would you see next innovation in shisha in the next 10 years? Because so far, everything's staying the same. Just small changes, like I think the biggest change was like vaping, but I don't consider that shisha. I consider that vaping. It's a different culture. But when it comes to most of the change has been either they went from fruit flavored tobacco to fantasy flavors, like the Blue Mist and the Pirate's Cave and whatever the fancy flavors they come up with. And the other thing was we went from traditional grass hookahs to things like the glass hookahs and the new wood hookahs and all that stuff. But it's still, the essence is still the same. I'd like to see what would they think the next big thing would be.
Okay. So it was the last question. Thank you for your answer, Summer. Back to our conversation about your failed visit. We have some good news and some announcement of another big hookah event in Russia, in St. Petersburg. There will be held a large international hookah exhibition called Hookah Club Show. You can see this poster, some advert. This event will be held on 6th February of 2016. And moreover, on the territory of this exhibition, we are going to hold HookahBattle CIS Cup 2016, and we are pleased to invite you on this event. I hope this time we will deal with the Russian embassy in Cairo. We have much more time for that. I think, in conclusion, I think you have some sort of New Year greetings to hookah lovers and guests in Russia. Do you have something?
Oh no, I definitely, first of all, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. The nice thing, I know that you celebrate Christmas with us on the 7th of January. So Merry Christmas, everyone. And at the same time, I want to wish everybody Happy New Year, which is in like a few days, like 2 days, I think. So I hope everybody has a great Christmas, and make sure that your Christmas includes some hookah, because otherwise it's not a perfect Christmas or a perfect New Year. So start your New Year with a good year. I know I am.
Okay, thank you. I wish you a great Happy New Year too. And that was Amro Elfiky, co-founder of Vela Shisha brand in Cairo. Thank you very much, Amro, and we'll see you in 1 month. Goodbye.
1 month it is. Goodbye.